So we've decided our bodies are strange.
Not just ours, everybody's.
Human bodies are just... Human brains also not great.
Yeah.
As we discussed. They don't...
Strong consensus there.
They're not there to help us like you'd like. Because if our brain was really on our side, you wouldn't struggle to get to sleep. You'd be like, I'm going to go to sleep now because I need 8 hours of sleep for you to function. Your brain would be like, all right. Instead of, hey, remember that time in 5th grade? Let's think about that. That's not helpful. Go away. Anyway, last day in New York. Hi. We did it.
We did it. We made it.
We did the thing. So we started our day going back to Bryant Park, which is Princess's favorite park now.
It's my new favorite park. I don't know what my old favorite park is, but this is my new favorite one.
People playing chess, people playing badminton, there are beekeeping classes.
That wasn't badminton, that was
table tennis. You're right, it was table tennis. Beekeeping classes, juggling classes.
What else? Knitting. They had beginner knitting.
Knitting classes.
Basically anything you want to learn how to do. I think you can learn it in Bryant Park.
So we grabbed some pastries from a little stand there for breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
And then went around into the New York Public Library, the main branch.
Which is a research library. If you're looking for actual books or
They wouldn't let me take any books home.
Don't go there. There aren't any books there.
No, it's half museum, half research library, and they're very clear about the labeling. Like, there are people, tourists, going in and out of the thing constantly, looking at all the stuff, reading all the things, but then you try to go into one of the study rooms, even if you're real quiet, and they're like, no, we don't want your kind in here.
Which is fair.
Yeah.
People are working.
So it's a pretty interesting that they have that division going on of like, it's a mullet. Oh my God, it's a mullet.
What?
Except it's party in the front and business in the back. It's what a mullet haircut is, business in the front and party in the back.
So, wait. What?
Anyway.
So it's a bob? I don't understand. Okay, moving on.
Please. We went to Central Park.
Yes, we did go to Central Park, but our bodies were very tired by that point.
We still managed to walk the width of Central Park.
Yes.
There was an Egyptian obelisk and a castle.
No, like an Egyptian obelisk, like from Egypt, from 1600 BC, that I forget the name, but whoever was the head of Egypt at the time gave to New York, and it's been there in the park since 1881 or something like that. And some of the sides are really weathered, but some of them still, you could see the hieroglyphs, and they had translations there and what they said, and I read them all, and I'm still not entirely sure what they were trying to convey. Something about Ramses. That's all I got.
We did get briefly separated because I wanted to sit down for a minute and she was on a mission.
Well, I wanted to sit down in a place that had a view.
And I had an odd encounter. As Princess left, a bald Asian woman with a large plastic bag, like it was full of clothes, just from because she was tossing it up and down and catching it, and it seemed like it was full of cloth-like material, just from the way it was behaving, was talking to herself loudly and clearly and said, "There are films playing at 66th and Broadway, you should see them." And then she turned and made eye contact with me as she was walking. Very clearly, she had been talking to me, not herself, even though she was talking to herself the whole way up to where I was sitting. And then she just kept on going.
So I looked it up. I couldn't find anything on 66th and Broadway, but what I did find was that there's a movie theater at 67th and Broadway. So maybe that's what she was talking about.
I never found out. We didn't go. We were tired.
Also, that's also like really close to where the opera is and Juilliard, and yeah.
But then there was a castle.
It was a very small castle. I don't think anybody actually lived in this castle.
Well, it was originally for the I laughed at you for not being able to say it earlier.
You did.
Meteorological Society.
No.
No,
it was a lookout tower, I guess, for land invasions or something. But it is now occupied by the Meteorological Observatory of New York, which I could not locate anywhere in this building because it was a very small building, and we went up a couple flights of stairs, and there
Very,
wasn't
very narrow
anything there.
stairs.
There were stairs going down that we weren't allowed to go down. I asked the lady what they were, and she said they were a dungeon, and then she said, just kidding, it's not a dungeon. And I could not hear what she said they actually were, so no idea what's down there.
We also came across Jerry Orbach Way, which was a highlight for my day.
That was later.
That was later. I am skipping ahead a little.
You're skipping out a lot. So from there, from the Central Park, we went to see Beetlejuice at the Marquee Theater.
The musical, the musical, the musical.
Yes.
It
I
was-
did not know what to expect because, like I said, I don't like musicals. But I love Beetlejuice.
It was very good.
It was very good.
It was. I expected it to be pretty decent. It was really good. I think I might prefer it to the movie now.
The production quality was high.
Yeah, they did some stuff that I
Yeah.
didn't know we were doing in theaters.
I honestly don't know how they did some of that stuff.
The guy who played Beetlejuice was phenomenal.
Yeah, he was really
Just he let it. He held nothing back. It was all charisma, all go. It was Deadpool is Beetlejuice.
yeah,
And
there's a
Lydia
lot-
was also very good. I mean, she was powerful.
Yeah, there was a lot of like breaking of the fourth wall, only for Beetlejuice, which was interesting.
One of my favorites. First of all, they made a couple Hello Dolly references, which amused me. But one of my favorites was when he turned to the audience and told us his plan for how he's gonna get her to marry him, so that he can become or he's gonna. I can't remember what plan he was, but he was sharing his plan with the audience, and the other characters on stage went, "We can hear you. You're gonna do that?" And he said, "That was a soliloquy, so you're the rude one now."
Yeah, it
That's
was cute.
perfect.
It was cute.
It was super enjoyable. I don't know if it would ever tour or like come to Austin, but I would not. I would absolutely take an opportunity to see it again.
Yeah, it was cute. And then I was starving.
So we went to PS Kitchen.
PS Kitchen, yes. It's another all vegan restaurant. 100% of their profits go to charity. I liked it.
Yeah, I had a run-of-the-mill salad. I had the best Brussels sprouts I've ever had, and some okay truffle fries.
Yeah, I had mushrooms that had been like fried like buffalo wings. That were pretty tasty.
They weren't bad.
And then a chicken pot pie that was, everything was hot lava. I don't know why, but it was just hot lava. So it took a while before I could even eat the food, and yeah. But
That was shortly after you lost your Metro card, right?
yes, I did lose mine. Or was that before I lost? I lost my Metro card at some point.
Which meant she could no longer take the subway, because we bought these Metro cards, and it was great for the subway. It was $30 for a week of free subway use, that's a good deal,
Not bad.
because we were using it constantly. And she lost hers, which meant, since we were almost at the end of our trip anyway, no more subway for us. We're not paying another $30 for a subway trip. And I didn't want us to get split up, so I lost mine too.
And by lost, he means threw it away.
I threw it up into the air dramatically from the sidewalk and said, "I've lost it as well!"
That did happen.
And then somebody picked it up and took off with it, and
that was very nice.
good for them.
Mm-hmm. And that's when we came across Jerry Orbach Way. Because, remember those comedy club tickets that we had purchased?
First day.
Turns out that was a mistake. Don't do that.
It was not the world famous comedy club with the big brick back wall that we were told.
Maybe it was, but I think that one might have been downstairs.
And that's not the one they let us go to.
It's not the one we were in. No. And it was a bunch of, I guess amateur is probably a harsh word. What's the word that's slightly above amateur?
I wouldn't say they were yet journeymen either.
Struggling comedians.
Apprentice comedians.
They were trying really hard.
Some of them just like death gripping the mic, just like
Yeah, there were a few people who were really nervous and did not know how to handle.
Everybody got
that.
good applause, so like.
Yeah, we were all very generous with the applause, but like there were some people. There was one guy. He like had back-to-back jokes, something about his dick, and then also about his grandma, like just back-to-back. Like they were non sequitur, just like one-liner things, and I was just like, I'm having trouble following you right now. Like, where are you going with this? And also, don't make jokes about your dicks. Like, just stop it. It's not funny.
Well, and then there was the woman who came out and spent most of her routine talking about her vagina.
Yes, that was apparently a big part of her identity. Because first thing was that she's a lesbian, and then she got upset that there weren't any lesbians in the crowd.
Actually, the very first thing she said was, I don't get to deal with erectile dysfunction, just be a man and eat her out. That was her opening joke.
Mm-hmm. And then said she was a lesbian, which is like, well, of course you don't understand erectile dysfunction, because you don't like penises, which is fair.
But man,
but then the next joke was about like a gynecologist, and then
there
more
were
stuff about her gynecologist, and then it was just like
she had a lot of jokes that started and never ended because
I think
she was very nervous.
Yeah.
She was doing even worse in her own head than she was doing on stage.
That's
and she
true.
wasn't doing great on stage.
But she wasn't doing as bad as she thought she was.
Yeah,
But
she
I just
just
wish
needed
she
to
had
stick with it.
finished any of her jokes.
Yeah, she just needed to see him through.
But overall, it was yeah. Don't do that. Don't buy comedy club tickets from some random person on Broadway. It's not gonna work out.
Times
for you.
Square.
Which is Broadway.
He was in Times Square.
Okay. Don't do that.
Don't. They're gonna lie to you about it's the world famous one with the brick bag.
I mean,
that's not the one you're getting into.
It might be there. It's just not the one you were at. What else?
And then we limped home.
Yeah, and I bought nuts. I wanted roasted nuts since the whole time I've been here, and I finally bought them.
And we're getting up at 5 o'clock tomorrow to hop in a cab at 5:30 to go to the airport and fly home. This is it. This is the end of the New York trip. Honestly, the best parts were the shows. We had some fun. We did not get to do some of the stuff we thought we would do. The escape room was a lot of fun too, actually. I think it was because the three of us worked well together, and it was clearly built with three people in mind.
And Cody was having a lot of fun.
It was
always nice.
It was very nice to see Cody after all these years. Yeah.
And then the shows were great. The
I wouldn't mind coming back again, honestly.
Museum of Natural History was fantastic.
Similar to Central Park, we did just a fraction of it. Central Park is enormous. Go look on a map. There's
apparently like an outdoor theater
a
there.
fourth or a fifth of all of Manhattan. Like,
and
it's
a baseball
huge.
field. And what else? There's they do Shakespeare in the Park there.
We just cut straight across and came across an Egyptian obelisk and a castle. God only knows what else is in Central Park. I feel like you could do a Neil Gaiman-esque, a Neverwhere-esque story just about Central Park.
Yeah, they obviously take really good care of it. There were also lots of signs telling you what good care they take of it, and how proud they are. But yeah, where was I going with this? I'm so tired.
Nobody knows. That's it. That's our trip. I would definitely come back to New York again, see more plays, because they were great.
Oh, I remembered. It's not important.
I'm excited.
It was just...
I have to know.
I don't think anybody... I think it's probably a good idea not to go to Central Park after dark.
That'd be fair. I mean, it was big.
It was really big, and it was... I didn't see any lights.
But it was nice as we approached Central Park, it just got really quiet.
It did.
Before we got to the park, as you get closer to the park, it's like, all right, no more cars, just bicycles. And then you get to the park. It was very pleasant. I'm not really an outdoor kind of person. I like sitting stationary inside with air conditioning. But it was very pleasant. It was very calming, soothing. It was very enjoyable to walk through the park.
Very nice green space, lots of canopy cover, so...
I wish our bodies hadn't been so tired so we could have, and I wish we'd had more time. Both. I want both of those things so we could have spent more enjoyable time.
Yeah, I would have taken a nap there for sure.
I mean, if you had somebody to watch over you, because people.
I mean, That's not something I worry about, but sure, yeah, that.
You could wake up and somebody steals your Metro card.
I'm so tired.
All right. Yeah, we got to pack and go to bed. Although, maybe we watch one more episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine while we're still close to Brooklyn.
Yeah.
All right. It's been a trip, guys. Thanks.